Rich Tarani here, TMC Newsroom. We're at Interop 2012 in Las Vegas. On our program is David McGirt. He's with Innovolt, and he is the Senior VP of Engineering and Operations. And Dave, welcome to the show.
Thank you, it's good to be here.
So your company is in the power protection space. I was hoping you could give us an overview of just exactly how you help your customers.
Absolutely. So where our company came from is Dr. Deepak Devan, Georgia Tech professor, founded the company and the technology and the patents that we operate from when he identified that there was 5 major disturbances in the power grid. Most of us think about 2 that we're aware of. One would be what's normally called surge, lightning, and the other is a power outage, which is why I buy a nice cheap UPS. But in between, there's a lot of other things that go on that damage and cause nuisance trips and problems with our electronics, things like sags and overvolts and surge swells of voltage. So we have electronics that we've patented and have developed into products for the industry, and at a low cost point we can actually solve all those problems and reduce the service costs and the breakdowns of a lot of equipment.
So other players in the space are like an APC, Schneider Electric, there's Minuteman, others. How do you compare to the field?
They're actually very good in the UPS space, the guys that you mentioned. So, you know, for thousands of dollars, I can buy one of their devices and put that amount of protection for, let's just say, you know, my $1,000 device. I may spend $5,000 for one of their devices that does the same thing we do, but it also has a battery. In our case, we think there's a better spot in the industry, a much lower cost alternative that protects from all those power disturbances. If you need a cheap UPS, you can add that too, but really it's the power disturbances that cause us the problems. The nuisance trips we know at home where you have to go restart your cable modem. You don't really know why, but you have to. Things lock up, your copier just kind of quit working, but it's, you know, has to be serviced. We make those problems go away because a lot of that's really caused by voltage irregularities and things that are in our power grid.
Are there any new products that we should know about?
The core electronics and the core patents that we operate basically allow us to put that into different product form factors. Today we service, you know, 5 of the major Fortune 500 office equipment businesses: Konica and Minolta's, Ricoh Canada, Ricoh USA, and we protect their, you know, high-end copiers, and it really decreases their service cost. But that same form factor is we're actually licensing it to be integrated into other electronics. So instead of buying a standalone device from Innovolt, they're licensing our technology and putting it in their own electronics.
Now what about the international market?
That's a great point. We have just announced that we're expanding into sub-Saharan Africa, South Africa specifically. I'll be there next week. The North American power grid has lots of problems, and that's where it founded our company. In the broader space of, you know, the world, we have a very reliable power grid. As we go to other countries where that power grid is even more susceptible to problems and interference and all of these same problems, but they're more frequent and sometimes more violent to the equipment. Our equipment does an excellent job, and it's not an education process when we go to those countries. They absolutely need what we have already.
Now, is part of the reason there also because of the higher voltage levels?
Believe it or not, it's really not determined. You know, different voltage, and we work with all the different voltage types and currents and cycles that go around the world. But it's really more to do with the influence. On a practical example, we talk about the power grid, but that power grid can also be localized, say, to your home. When your air conditioner comes on during the summer and your lights dim in the house, it's almost brings a smile. It means your AC is coming on. But it's also very damaging to all the equipment in your house because that voltage dropped and there's a big inrush of current hitting all of your electronics in your home. So it's something we've never really thought about. We just kind of, you know, power didn't go out, so it's all good.
That's great. Well, hopefully you'll come back and give us some details on your progress in the market and your growth.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.